Good morning. Good morning. This is my after a week of travel and not being home look. Good morning. It's so good to be home. Um, I was at an in-person um, training for Wilcom E4 software, and I waited 3 years for this week because when I registered for it, COVID hit. Boom. COVID, everything's gone. Yep. And this is the first year. Oh my goodness. See, I do that all the time. Um, this is the first year that they had in person training again. So I was definitely going to take advantage of it. Let's see who we have here, and then we'll get started because we've got a lot of things we want to cover. We have Cindy King. Good morning. Barb, good morning. Gusta, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Oh, training was amazing. I went for one specific thing and learned so much more, which is some of the things we're going to cover here today. All right. Are we ready? Shall we get started? I use Wilcom E4.5.7 is the latest build. Um, and it's such a strong program, but I don't know how to use some of the finer pieces. One of the reasons I purchased those software was to be able to convert my old DST files to and be able to edit them. Now I can do that. I thought it was a sales pitch because I hadn't been able to do it, and nobody showed me how to do it. Of course, Maria, the trainer for the class, said, should have called support. So if ever you think your software should do something and it's not, call support. That's what they're there for. So here, we're going to go right here and we're going to get started right off. We're going to do some of the simple stuff first, and we're going to save the DST edits for last because it's a little more entailed. All right, made a box. Only I didn't want a box. I wanted a circle. Do I just go ahead and get rid of all my box and make a circle? No, I can change my nodes. Let me, God, I always lose my mouse. Let me enlarge this for you. Maybe just a wee bit smaller. See this node? If I highlight that node, in my system, it turns blue when it's highlighted to be worked. You can move it, right? But did you know that you can do this? That you can change it from a square node to a round node, a curved node, just with the click of your space bar. Yep, your space bar will toggle your node from a square node to a curved node. Just that easy. Isn't that fun? Facebook user, not quite sure who you are, might have an idea, but good morning. Wasn't that interesting? Changing your node. Yeah, I know. I was so excited because in the past, if I wanted this to just change to a circle, I would insert a node here. Oops, maybe I won't. But I would try to add a node. It would help if I was actually doing it on a crash course on all the tools. We might be able to arrange that. And a personal trainer. Listen, there was a lot going on there. All right, so if I wanted to change this to a circle in the past, I would have to add a node and then delete the other node. Not anymore. Now I can just toggle between the nodes. Yep. All right. So that was the first one. That was the first one. Like I said, the quick ones first. Did you know, and I'm sure most of you do know that you can kern your lettering. You can, let me get down here. Gosh, get out of there. You can, if you select your pink diamond, you can move your lettering back and forth. Yeah, we all know that, right? Did you know that if you click the shift button, click and hold, pull your diamond, you can move it up and down? I didn't know that. Yep, you can move it up and down. One more time. You want another one? If you click and hold your control key, click your diamond, you can move it anywhere on the screen you want to. I know. I know. Who knew? You can. You know, some people want those wonky letters that are turned and skewed. I know there's a skew here somewhere. Do, do, do. Well, and now, you know, you can put them anywhere on the screen you want. Yep, you can. Okay, the next one. Excuse me. The next one. Let me just double check my notes. Yep. This color chip bar down here, the one that we pull our colors from, these are Wilcom's default colors. I would much rather use a default colors that match the thread colors that I use. So how do I do that? How do I change that? I'm going to have to get rid of my face here. Hold on. Going to have to get rid of my face. All right. So here's my color chips. I have 15 color chips. If I turn on my colorways, which way over here, gives me a list of the different colorways. If I select this green, the first one, oh, wait, forgot to do something. Let's select my color chart. Right now, my colors are set to the Madeira Classics. Let's just go ahead and use something else. Here, Floriani. We'll just put Floriani in there. Take Madeira out. Yep. So I hit OK. And you see all of these are now Floriani colors. Okay? So again, turn on my colorways. Let's make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. And if I select that first color, which represents the first color in our chip, and I change it to a Floriani color, click, and then go on and do the second one, it'll scroll down automatically. And what the system is doing is it's doing its best color match to the colors that I've selected. Black is black, white is white, dark blue. You know, select your colors. All right. So now I've selected all my colors. And if I look on my chipboard, they are now all Floriani colors. Of course, we all know that we can add a color, hit our little plus sign, and it will add a color, and it will pull from the Wilcom default list. At least it looks like a Wilcom default list. We can go back up and find a matching Floriani. There we go. So now we have, sorry, my throat's still a bit dry from the trip. So now we have color chart, our color chips. Now, if I close my window here and go to a new window, or, close down my software and open it up, it's going to come back to the defaults. I don't want that. I want to see, I don't want that. I want to see this new color strip exactly as I created it. So how do I save that? How do I save it so that it comes back day after day, design after design? We need to save it as a template. You can do that. Um, when you get your Wilcom software, you're going to rearrange things to the way you like them. You're going to put your, I don't know, you're going to put your Dockers where you want. Two of the Dockers, you might want to make sure that they're out all the time. And when you're all ready, when you've got your Floriani, I'm sorry, when you've got your Wilcom software totally laid out exactly what like you want it, you'll go up into the files and save as a template. Now you can save as many templates as you want. This is the normal template. This is the default template. You can save this as a hat template, or cotton or fleece, or whatever kind of template you want to call it. Me, I want it to come up every time in my normal template. So if I select normal and select save, and then it's going to ask me to replace it, and yep, that's exactly what I want to do. Now, if I close this and I open a new window, guess what I did? That's exactly what I did. Because I saved my template with my green box and my don't ya, it saved it to my template. So I got to delete all of this. Delete. Now, save as a template, save as my normal template, and save. Don't do that to yourself. If you save a template and the next time you open it, it comes up with something on the monitor, you know that you saved it with whatever was on the monitor. Okay, so let's do this again. We saved it. We're going to delete, get rid of that one, and open a new one. And look at that. All my colors are still there. And they will always be there until you change them or until you change your template. What do you think? What do you think? Let's see here. Yes, the class I took this last week was the last in-person training available for this year. They do have all kinds of video training. Um, check for on-site webinar training. That's there. Um, and then, of course, the in-persons will be posted for next year. And yes, that is exactly it. You can match the colors on your machine to the colors on your color bar, which is awesome. But as a digitizer, I don't know. I don't always have the colors. I don't always need the colors that are matching on my machine. but I do need to try to match colors for my clients. If my client tells me they're using Madeira thread, I can set up my 15 colors to match Madeira colors. It will still be their responsibility to fine tune that match, but I can give them a Madeira green or a Madeira yellow. So I like that. And saving templates. I can save a Madeira template. I can save a Floriani template. I can save an RA template. I can save a template for every color set in the book. Why is it not showing your profile picture? I believe on Facebook it says something about having to give StreamYard access. It's no big deal. It doesn't show your profile picture or your name, but that's okay. We love you. We love you. We want you here. All right. So, one more before we get to the big one. I have pulled in a design file. Frank, is that you? Everybody, meet Frank Dunn, aka Facebook user. Or should we say Facebook user, aka Frank Dunn? I was surprised when I didn't see your name come up, but I'm glad you're here. Okay, so this is a design file I did for a client, back 2 years ago, even. And I know that because in the file name, I always put what year it was created. Um, so I want to post this in my on my website in my gallery of photos. All right. So I can do one of two things. I can stitch it out, which you guys know I do a test stitch, but it's not on a garment. It's not always so pretty. It's just on standard white fabric with cutaway stabilizer, and but it's functional. But watch this. If I go to file and drop down to capture virtual decoration bitmap, this box will allow me to set the DPI resolution. Can be really small. Maybe you only want to do a thumbnail, or large. Hit OK. Tell it where to save. And of course, I've already done this, so it's asking me to do it again. And then, and of course, you can select what file format you want to save it in. And then, when you open it up to look at it, isn't that beautiful? Yep. On my website, a lot of you know that I have relaid out my website. Some of them use old pictures. I am going to go back and pull those files open again and save them as virtual bitmaps. They will be beautiful. Okay, so who's ready for the big one? Everybody want to learn how to edit a DST file? I know I did. One of the reasons I bought Wilcom, and when it comes to making a big purchase, I do a lot of research. I ask a lot of questions. I want to make sure that all the boxes that I have, all the information, the need that I have, um, that it's going to do what I want. Um, and one of the things, because I was leaving one software and going to another, but I still wanted to be able to maintain access to the other software, not the other software, but the other design files, and be able to edit them. That was a question I asked specifically. Can I take a DST file and edit it? And they said yes. They said yes. What they didn't say was you have to go through this process to do it. All right. So at that time, Cindy, you have a great time with your daughter, and we can do that. We can arrange other Wilcom lessons. You have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Okay, so I wanted to be able to edit these DSTs, but they didn't tell me how. And it turns out that when the 4.0 version was released, that it became a system option. Previous versions, it was it was automatically available. In 4.0, it became an option. Um, though it has been requested to become a standard again. So how do you do that? First thing you have to do is find your DST file. So we go look for a DST file. Okay, I want a DST, so I have to make sure that I'm searching for a DST file. And this actually works with any machine file, not just DSTs, but any machine file. All right, we'll pull this one in. Grizzly Ranch. This was a patch. Oh, I forgot a step. Let's do that again. It's also new to me. Sorry. Um, New page. DST file. Grizzly Ranch. Before you hit that open, go down here to options. Very important. Go to options. Click. And here is a dialog box. In the dialog box, the piece that you want that's very important is this objects to outline. All right. This will change the file format from a stitch base to an object base. Click OK and click Open. All right. I want to do that again because I want to show you the difference. So only this time, I'm not going to click Options. Let me make sure that that's off. Yep. This is what I used to get. And if you look over here, what you get is just stitch information. It's all stitch information. If I pull this out and look at it, where to go? It's all stitch information. I can't edit anything in here. There's no way to open it to the nodes. Oh, I guess I did. Each one of these nodes is a stitch. All right. But what if I don't want to edit down at the stitch level? I want to change this shape. Well, yes, I can move each and every one of these. That's not what I want. By opening it as the object, I can actually change the stitch type. This right now is a tatami stitch. Well, this is narrow enough to where it could be a satin stitch. Yeah. This bit here, again, these two are connected. I don't want them connected. I go to the knife, I can now cut it, and I can change this to a satin stitch. Wasn't able to do that before. Now, Frank, you're exactly, oh, there you are, Frank. Hi, Frank. Um, you're right. That many nodes can crash the system. Okay, so here's something else that you need to be aware of. I'm going to move this one. Of course, I have to be on my workspace. Underneath here are the underlays. Um, the underlays that were converted over. Well, I suppose we could leave them there, but if we go through, and you can select, you can edit by stitch type. If we go through and select all the run stitches and all the manual stitches, those are, for the most part, you can always assume that those are the underlays, and we can delete them. Now this little piece here, well, actually any of it, none of this has underlay now, but we can go in and add our own underlay, right? I'm going to copy this over to another page and paste and enlarge. And then we're going to just do a draw. Now you can see it's got underlay. I used a tatami underlay, a double tatami. It did that. And now it has an underlay. This was a big game changer for me. These two pieces here, look, I'm using my new color chart. This one, oops. Where is it? Oh, there's a mystery underlay that we didn't know we had. Okay, suffice it to say that we can now edit the objects in our file. The point I'm trying to get to with this one is I want to bring this down, and I want to bring that up, because I want to take all of these that I've highlighted in blue and merge them. Then I can come down here to the nodes, delete some nodes, delete some nodes. Oh, you didn't get in there, but that's okay. We can get you in there. And merge them. This is all stuff that you can do in your Wilcom software to your DST files. Yes, it's going to break them, and it's going to bring them out as maybe sections. And yes, there's going to be more edit work than if you were to draw it out natively. But when you're all said and done, when you've made the object changes that you want, you want to change your stitch type from satin. Maybe you want to take this and add a stamp pattern to it. Couldn't do that before. Not to a DST file. So, and now, once I've made all of these changes, I can save this as an E and B. So when I come back, when I close it, let's get rid of this one too. When I close it, I can open it back up and continue with my edits or continue making changes to it. You know, things you couldn't do to the DST files. Now, somebody asked me some time ago about the lettering system. Do, do, do. Over in here, in your um, design information folder, under the design, in fact, let me just take this another step here. Let's open this up. Come along. This file was natively created in Wilcom. In my design information, it gets a letter A. It gets an A because it was created in Wilcom by Wilcom for Wilcom. This file that we did our edits on, it comes in at a C. And that is because if you read the explanations, a grade C design contains objects recognized from a machine file and may have limitations in their resizing. Okay, some of these objects in here are still unchanged from the DST. The file originated as a DST, so it's just telling you that this file is not native to Wilcom. But because we have our option turned on, we can make some edits to it. So, everybody, that's that is those are the things that I learned this week that I was extremely excited about and wanted to share with you all as soon as possible. Oh, any thoughts? Any questions? Um, it was an amazing class. There's so much to this software that you could take the class over and over again and pick up something new every time. I really enjoyed it. Now, Cindy's right. She had said something about more will come. Um, that can be arranged. If ever there is something specific you need to know or want to learn with regard to your Wilcom software, here, there we are. That's me again. If there's anything you need to know or you have a question about, and there's the groups. The groups are phenomenal. The Wilcom groups, the help and tips, and Frank Dunn's group, um, all amazing and lots of help in there. But now you can send me a message. I'll be happy to help. And if it's something that I think would benefit everybody, I can do this. I can do this again. Yep. All right. Any questions? Any thoughts? Um, while we're waiting for that, I took the train in there. It was a 7-hour ride. You cannot sleep on the train. I don't care what they say about the coach, um, about coach seating. Yes, you can. They're wider. They're more comfortable than airline seating, but you still can't sleep in them. Um, spent the week at the hotel. Our conference room was flooded, so they actually moved our class to another hotel. So we were shuttling back and forth. But the information, there's so much information. Frank's Frank does not necessarily have his own group, but he is involved in a Facebook group. He is an admin or monitor. Let me see if I can find that name. Wilcom Embroidery Help and Tips. Who led the class? Maria, I cannot pronounce her last name, and I'm sure it's really simple. She is also Wilcom's support manager. When you call Wilcom or you send an email to Wilcom support, um, Maria is one of three or four people that will reply back to you. Let's see. Okay. Well, I'll think about what we need to do for next week, but we'll be here. I'm glad you all were here. I hope you got something out of this one. How was the pace of the class? The class, it was good. It was, how did she put it? The class is designed not to give you an in-depth, down to all levels of each and every function within the software. What they're doing is they're teaching you how to use that function so that you can um, take it beyond, take it where you want it to go. And do I plan to take it again? I wouldn't mind because different instructors teach different ways. I wouldn't mind um, taking again with James Timmons because he's got a different he'll make it a different experience. He's more of a creative, and Maria's more analytical and software driven. So it's a good 4-day overview. Yes, it is. Yeah, it was. We brought Gina. Yes. Um, think of it. Yes, it was in a conference room at a hotel. We had our computers, we had our gear, and we actually got into the software. And I don't know if you can see it, but we came home with this handy dandy workbook, which is very, very good. Um, worth the cost of admission. It will be here uh, for me to work with some of the pieces that um, I haven't used extensively. Let's see. And yes, James does do online training. Okay, this has been awesome. This was an exciting week, and I was so excited to come back here and share all of this with you. For those of you that are coming in late or watching in the replay, recording is awesome because you can go over it over and over and over again, catch the little things that you might have missed. If there is if there's anything specific that you're looking for, don't hesitate to send a message. No, right now, Gina, the editing DST is still an option within the software, though it has been requested to become a permanent, to become a default. Did you catch how to do that? We're going to open Open a new page, import a DST, just pick any DST, select it, go to the options here at your selection, and make sure that the objects box is ticked off. All right. Yes, there's a whole lot more to it than just ticking that box, but that's the beginning. Okay. And open it. All right. Of course, as a DST, it doesn't retain the colors. Okay. All right. So, gone a little long. I hope you found it valuable. Yes, Frank, here in this group, if the people that can see your postings are the people um, at the same location where you came in at. Otherwise, they can only see your post if I bring them up on screen. Okay. I'm going to say goodbye now. You all have a great week. Let me know if you have any questions. I have a lot of work to do. I'm playing catch up.
Wasn't that fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.
Bye now. We'll see you next week. Of course, I'll be here anytime you need me.